Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pate Namaha. Balakand, chapter number 55. The fight between Vasistha and Visvamitra. The recital begins now. Hard pressed by the astras of Visvamitra, the warriors brought into existence by the magic might of Bala stood in sore dismay. Whereat Vasistha turned to the cow of plenty and cried, O thou of infinite potency to create, bring forth fresh troops through thy yogic power inherent. At this word, Bala gave forth a mighty grunt, and lo, stood before him hosts of Kambojas, radiant as the sun. From her udders sprang forth Paplavas, ready armed for fray. Yavanas came from her organs of generation, Shakas from her organs of excretion, and from every pore on her body rushed forth countless hordes of Mlechas, Haritas, Kiratas, and soon not remained of the vast armies of Visvamitra horses, nor chariots, elephants, nor soldiers. The sight stung to fury the 100 sons of the ruler of men, and they fell in a body upon the solitary Vasistha, that master of dread spells. Hum! Cried he, and there they lay, a heap of ashes, before one can say lo. They who stood forth a moment ago in the pride of power and the prime of strength, girt by countless bands of warriors, cavalry, and chariots. Thus perished the fated sons of the monarch. And he, their father, a prey to impotent rage, gnawing shame and sore grief of heart. The mighty ocean, stilled of its mountain waves by some potent word of power, a huge serpent of her deadly fangs bereft, the resplendent orb of day in the merciless grasp of the eclipse, her blinding luster suddenly quenched, or a swift coursing bird, shorn of its wings, was not more miserable than Visvamitra, the king, his pride broken, his energy lost in overwhelming grief heavy at his heart, his dear sons and proud army done to destruction before his very eyes, and he powerless to lift a finger in their defense. But he resolved to live, if it be to wreak vengeance dire upon his proud foe, and placing a son of his own on the throne, he bade him rule wise and well, laying to his heart the tradition of his famed ancestors, and took his way to the dark slopes of the Himalayas, where Kinnaras fair and Uragas ever loved to dwell. By dread austerities and stern vows, he sought to propitiate Mahadeva. Long years passed over his head, till one happy day the Lord of Kailasa stood before him on his mighty bull, gracious of mood and most bountiful. Thy penance is severe. Why, Lord of men? Speak thou thy wish, and thou shalt have it. For I am the giver of boons, and thou hast found favor with me. Speak, and hesitate not. Visvamitra bowed himself low in humble reverence to the radiant presence of Mahadeva and prayed in accents meek. If it is true that my Lord is pleased with his servant, I crave to be initiated in the science of war in all its branches, down to the minutest details. Reveal unto me its innermost secrets, its potent spells unknown to others. Grant thou unto me perfect mastery over the magic weapons of the Devas, the Asuras, the Gandharvas, the Yakshas, and the Rakshasas, sages mighty and heroes brave, the worlds above or the regions below. All these and more through thy illimitable grace be mine, whatever I desire. So be it, assented Mahadeva, and vanished from view. And the proud Visvamitra of matchless valor, happy in possession of the mighty weapons, human and divine, grew prouder yet. Scarce could he contain his swelling energy that grew and grew, even as the billowy deep under the stimulating rays of the full moon. The feeble Vasistha was to him already dead and destroyed, or so he thought. Straight upon the calm solitudes of the peaceful hermitage did he advance and let loose the fires of his wrathful vengeance on the weapons of dire might, until a lonely waste was all that remained of that once lovely spot. Its saintly dwellers fled away in affright when the irate king leveled his magic shafts on their calm retreat. Hundreds and thousands of them scattered themselves all over the land, glad to escape the general destruction, and after them their numerous disciples, nay, the very beasts of the forest and the fowls of the air followed them in hot haste. A moment ago it was a lovely scene of peace, innocence, gaiety, and calm meditation, but now a lonely waste over which the silence of death hung black and oppressive. But Vasistha, shaken at last out of his philosophical indifference, cried out time and oft, "Fear not, my friends, him will I annihilate all to nothing, this proud son of Gadi, even as the morning sun dispels the filmy dews of the night." Then that master of magic potent turned to the proud Visvamitra and hissed forth these dread words like winged flame. "Wretched fool, that laid waste this fair hermitage of mine, the shelter and refuge of many an innocent thing, of many a noble sage, thy cup of equity is full and overflowing. Thy hour has come." He spake, and scarce unable to contain his rising wrath, held aloft his magic wand, terrible as a smokeless fire of dissolution, or as the fearful roar of death. Mangalam Kaushalendraya Mahaniya Gunapte Chakravarti Dhanurjaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam.